All right, hello everyone, and welcome to what was supposed to be the first episode of the Bera Boys cast. Now, what we had planned to do was talk about several topics throughout this night that we had planned, but it eventually boiled down to me, Matt, and Evon circle jerking about anime for about 2 hours. So Tyler never showed up, and Julie really didn't have much to say, so I kind of edited him out of this podcast, even though he kind of talked a little bit at the beginning and introduced himself. But I felt like it was weird to leave the introduction in and then have him not be anywhere else in the video, really. So this was supposed to be the first episode, but it failed horribly. I decided to rename this the Weebcast. So I hope you all enjoy the Bera Boys Weebcast, and I'll see you in hopefully what is episode 1 sometime this month. Alright everyone, welcome to episode 1 of the Bera Boys cast. I am your host, SushiGMS, aka Nick, and I am joined by...
Hi, my name's Evon.
It's Matt, also known as MisusingTV.
Let's get right into it. Who the fuck is Rem? You want to answer, Evon?
Yeah. ReZero. Probably like the best anime of this year, if not my favorite anime of all time. Great storyline, great plot. Characters are amazing. Development was amazing of the characters, I feel like. Produced by White Fox.
Who you didn't even know existed until right now.
No, I knew that White Fox existed. I just didn't know they made ReZero.
Right.
Who made Steins Gate, Kamega Kill, and
That's it.
That's it.
That's all you know.
That's it. Wow. I thought that. Oh, and they also made Guchamon. This is all the anime.
Lollipops.
It's pretty anonymous that it's not anonymous, anonymous. That's a word. Unanimous that this anime is everyone here's favorite from last season.
Yes.
I think that's fair to say. It's carrying over into this season. So let's get into this season's 91 Days. This is personally one of my favorites this season. It's got that old gangsta vibe. Not as much as the show Gangsta, but like Tokyo Godfathers kind of vibes. It's set during Prohibition, so it has like that whole like everybody is on the verge of pulling out a gun on you. It's been really, really good so far. Do you guys have any thoughts on it?
I haven't seen it. I've heard a lot of good things about this though. There's no confirmed set of episodes. I'll probably watch it after the season or something.
Nah, haven't had a chance to check out the first episode yet because I've been watching too much shit this season anyway.
Is anybody watching Active Raid?
Nope.
Anybody watch the first episode?
I dropped the first season. Like I didn't like. It's not because I dropped it. Not because I didn't like it. Was just again because I was watching too much and it was just kind of on the second, like the bottom half of like what I liked. So never really picked up after the first season.
I didn't even realize this was the second season. I don't think I watched the first season or even paid it any mind.
Oh, it's made by the same creators of Code Geass.
For me,
Production
mecha
IMS
animes
makes
are
a
hit
lot
or
of shit,
miss.
no?
It's a mecha and police shit. So like, think of like, I don't know, Power Rangers SPD, except animated.
Okay. These are the people that have been making the trash for the last couple seasons. They made all the Data Lives. They made 100. They made Testament Burst. They made Testament Burst Season 2.
Those were quality shows.
Okay, Data Live was real, in my opinion, really good. It was just like Data Live second season cut off in like such a weird point. It was like, why?
It was only 10 episodes. Like,
Evon,
I don't, like,
would you watch Data Live if nobody was a girl in it? Would it have enough structural integrity to keep you along for the ride based off of the characters, the personalities, and the storyline?
Okay, low key, I'm only watching it for the sister. Like, okay, that.
So your answer is no. And if you want to look at cute girls on the internet, you can Google that, and you don't need to sit through 20 minutes of bullshit every episode.
But I mean, there is
nice.
a storyline. There is a storyline.
Well, yeah, I'm sure that there could be a storyline to me rubbing my ass on the sidewalk, and I could get famous off of it, but it wouldn't make it a good story. It just makes one there.
Okay, like
comparisons
Shin
are
Mana
killing me.
Testament was like epitome of shit.
What?
I'm sorry, like I watched it again and I was
getting
like,
triggered.
what is happening?
I'm getting triggered.
It's all like Matt. How can you even say that there's a story behind it? There's not.
It's
If you
actually
want a
fan.
story
There-
about fantasy fucking vampires and superheroes
Yeah.
and there's other anime for that are good.
That
You
I've
don't need to
probably
see a chick
seen.
like ripping out her tits and being like,
But I've
"Sexy."
probably seen those shits, so why not watch this too?
Okay.
There's
I'm
nothing wrong with boobs, okay?
There's nothing wrong
You know-
with boobs, Matt, but there's things wrong with looking at boobs and calling it good. You have to if you're just calling it boobs, that's one thing, but if you're calling it a good show, it's
I don't know,
like
Matt
Twitch
also watched
Twitch
100.
booby
It was-
streamers. You watch because there's a cute girl on the webcam and she's playing the game you play. But you're not watching because she's good at the game. You're not learning anything. She's probably not the most entertaining person.
Well, that's
So,
the
I mean,
thing.
she
though.
doesn't
I
get
was
Streamer of the Year
entertained-
award.
I
but
was
she has boobs.
entertained watching Shin Maimao no Testament. It wasn't that
Well, like,
bad.
and Matt's
Oh,
opinion.
okay.
he was
I definitely
entertained,
agree that
like,
out of
like,
the
I
ones we're
like-
talking about right now, this was the best that they have made out of that genre.
I like the the fantasy and like just I mean the characters were kind of meh. Like I understand that they didn't go into too much detail, but it's just like just like the whole shit's not fucking real, or wouldn't ever be real. That's I don't know. That's
I
why
mean,
I was
I
interested.
don't
in
care
that.
about how well you build your suspension of disbelief is how strong it holds. And I don't think that I watched the anime thinking, "Oh, this wouldn't happen." I sat there watching the anime saying, "Why? Why? Every time? Why? Why? Why do they have to like? Why do they have to take it that direction?" And then with 100, it was just like there was no redeeming quality about 100 to me.
I don't know.
Like
100 was
100
Kinda
was
like the blonde chick.
literally Infinite Stratos again.
Yeah, and I like
matched
Infinite
into
Stratos.
like etchy, like
But
etchy.
it was
horror
Infinite Stratos, but worse. And Infinite
Yeah,
Stratos
I
wasn't
mean-
putting that bar very high.
I like my etchy harems. That's just the only reason why I liked it. Just because I like that genre.
Let's get on to an actually good show. Sweetness and Lighting. Are any of you guys watching this?
Nope. I wanna watch it though. I've
It
heard
looks
that
cute.
it's, yeah, it's cute.
It was very cute. I've only seen the first episode, but what I saw from the first episode made me very, very happy. The tone and the atmosphere of this anime was done so well to make it not creepy and not weird and to feel really genuine. You can just like tell that the love they put into making this, and that's a really good thing when like you can feel that in an anime. Like when nothing is happening but you're still feeling the atmosphere, that's when like an anime is doing a good job. And that's basically what this whole anime is about. It's just the atmosphere and the good times and the sad stories and stuff like that.
Might turn into another planet.
I mean,
No,
it's not
it's
like going
not.
down that road.
It's
The
not
sad
gonna
stuff
be, like,
already
super
happened.
duper sad.
It's like the other way around. It's already in the puddle of sad and it's trying to walk out of it. I heard Battery was not your typical sports anime in any way. If I recall correctly, the main character is kind of an asshole, and the person who he's playing with is kind of an asshole back, and them being an asshole to each other is kind of like more real than like the everybody can do it. We're all ambitious. We're all motivated. Let's all go do it. Let's all be the best. It's like kind of like more of like a dude, you fucking suck, dude. Like no, you fucking suck, dude. Watch, I'm gonna fucking rape you right now. Like,
Oh,
well, not maybe not rape, but I mean it's anime. It could happen.
yeah.
It's close.
But I heard good things about it. I haven't watched it yet. I'm not particularly a sports anime guy myself, and it's not a light novel, so that has it going for it.
It's about baseball. Not really interested in baseball, so if
One of
I
those
if I have to
persons.
watch a sport anime, like it has to be, something that I'm kind of into.
I'm exactly the other way around. Whereas I don't really care what sport they're playing. I care more about how they're
They're
playing
doing
it. I
Oh.
feel like sports animes aren't actually ever about the sport they're playing. They're always about the determination and the lifestyle and what it takes to be a good player and how much thought goes into it. And I feel like those kind of things can be applied to like anything. Like Kuroko no Basket, they could have been playing volleyball and like they could have used the same shticks and it still would have all made sense.
Mhm.
Really?
It just happened to be about basketball. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And then there's Berserk, which is absolute horse shit.
God, bros.
Berserk is like what happens when the people that make anime disconnect with the people that watch anime. Because the people that love Berserk would have watched like anything besides what they did to it. And I mean, some fans of Berserk might even just like this, just because they really like CG for some reason.
Or they
But,
just like the Berserk anime itself.
yeah, the
I mean,
original Berserk anime
manga.
was way better than this, and then the manga is even way better than that. And from what I've tell, like they jump around the story to the point of like everything kind of being lost, and they put the rape scene in the OP instead of making it a dramatic moment in the anime. So yeah, that's Berserk. And now you guys want to talk about Danganronpa?
When this was first announced for Danganronpa 3 to be an anime, it's basically a continuation after the first anime, which also has a game. When they escape the school. Spoilers, but I mean, I can't really say anything. I can't like avoid that because it's basically the story for the third one. The thing with Danganronpa 3 is that it's separated into two different arcs. There's the future arc and the despair arc, and both have characters that come from the second game, which doesn't have an anime. And a lot of people and people that I've been talking to say that you have to play the game, or you should play the game. It's recommended to fully understand like what's going on and the characters and like what their actions are and what they're doing in the third anime. I haven't played it yet, but I don't think it's completely necessary. If like you're going in blind, you don't have to absolutely understand the characters and their motives or whatever, but I guess it would help. Um so yeah, the future arc is basically after the first game, after the first Danganronpa. It's like I don't know about the time skip because I feel like there is some sort of time skip because the main character looks older. But uh, regardless of any time skip, it's after they escape the school and there's this future corporation set up and whatnot. Um, and pretty much the despairs, they're trying to make sure that despair isn't flooding the world because they're the hope of the world per se. And then in the despair arc, it's what happens prior to Danganronpa 1 actually. So that's why there's two arcs. The despair arc is what happens before. I don't remember the names, like the biggest, most baddest, most terrible shit that ever happens in the world stuff. The disaster they explain in the first Danganronpa, this takes place before that, so it's all of the events that basically everything's like all hunky dory in the beginning, and then I guess it's just gonna progressively get worse. Personally, I love this shit. I saw Danganronpa 1 before I played the game, but after playing the game, it got me more hooked on it, and then I'll eventually play the second one. It's just a really good show. Like just the genre, the psychological, the mystery. It's pretty entertaining.
All right, how do you feel about it, Evon?
Yeah, basically what Matt said. I really like the storyline behind it, like the investigation type of premises, like finding out clues and stuff. Really enjoy that type of those types of animes. Makes it more enjoyable for the viewer, and as a really, what's the word I'm looking for? Person who's into like crime and stuff. I get really excited when I get left off hanging at the end of an episode. Just like gonna happen next episode. No.
There's two different kinds of cliffhangers, right? There's the good kind of cliffhangers which leave you like what the fuck, and you want to know more. And then there's the same type of cliffhangers, but you're like, why the fuck did that just happen? Like, did they
Yeah, like,
really
why
need
did
to
they
do
cut
that?
it there? That wasn't necessary at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Or they'll give you
Mhm.
the first kind of cliffhanger, but then show you in the next episode that it was the second kind, where the cliffhanger didn't matter and all of that impact was for nothing.
Pretty much.
That's actually why I dropped Golden Time.
What?
Golden Time. I was thinking about Roku no Yusha.
I'm
I
not familiar
like
with that one.
Golden Time.
I
Really,
like
really
Golden.
nice.
Yo, yeah, it was like one of the best romantic comedies
I
like that
liked
I've
Golden
seen.
Time
Yeah,
until he hit his
absolutely.
head on the floor. They made it look like he got all of his memories back. He looked at the girl like he knew who she was, and then the episode ended. And then the entire week, I was so hyped that like we were gonna see the all of his actions from like the point of view of remembering mid-season and how he was gonna like proceed onward. And the next episode, it starts with, "Ha, just kidding. He doesn't remember anything." And then I just literally just stopped watching it because I was so mad.
I don't remember that.
It was episode 10.
No.
Episode
But yeah,
10.
I feel the opposite of them about Danganronpa 3. I liked Danganronpa 1, and I didn't even know it was a game until after I'd already watched it, and I liked that about it, that watching it as an anime without knowing anything about it, it was an enjoyable experience trying to find out what was happening, what was going to happen to the characters, like what the fuck was going on at every single episode, why like anything was happening. Like I wanted to know more and more and more. And then at the end of it, when they explained it all, it was like it was all worth it in the end.
Yeah,
It was all
I feel the
good.
same. I feel the same way.
But when I started
That's
watching
how I
this,
watched it.
I only started watching this because I liked the first season. But the third season like threw all of that away. I didn't watch any of Despair if that's even out yet. I just watched the future one
Yeah,
where
same.
it continued
Yeah,
from
there
where season
is.
1 left off. But
Yeah, well, like
it
what I
doesn't
was
feel
saying.
like an anime anymore. It just feels like they're advertising the game.
Well, there is no game out for this yet.
There
That's the
isn't.
thing. No, there isn't. It's original. It's an original.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, then even
Um,
more so, I am completely lost on why it doesn't
exactly
feel like an
because
anime.
because they have characters and introduce all these personalities from the second game, which we don't know shit about. That there's no backstory to because they never made an anime for the
Well,
second
what I'm saying,
game.
even if I knew who the secondary characters were, like the way that the characters interact with each other and the situation that's brought up, like in the first episode of the first season, you were immediately like caught on like what the fuck happened to this kid? Why the fuck are they locked in this school? What the fuck is going on? Like you're immediately intrigued. And on this one, it's like everybody sits down at the table, they start talking shit about this dude who is the old main character, and then he comes in, and then they get ambushed, and it's like I like it. It just feels so unnecessary and forced that like I don't give a fuck who's attacking them. I don't give a fuck why they're attacking him. It
I don't
like
know. I think about it like differently. Like because like they get ambushed and it's Monokuma again. You're like, oh my god. Well, here we go. Like all over again, and like the fucking killing game and shit. Like that like
well,
that
I feel
interests
the
me a
exact
lot.
same way, but in a like that gives me a bad feeling instead of a good one. Where it's like I don't want to sit through all of that again. I want a new story. I want something new to happen. I don't want to just watch season 1 over again with different characters.
Yeah, I mean the game is different from the first one, but yeah, I understand what you're saying.
It just I wanted to give it a chance too. I wanted to like it. I gave it like 3 episodes,
Yeah,
and I
but
was just like it just wasn't for me anymore. I don't know.
for the despair arc though, I would recommend you to watch it. It's not definitely not as serious right now as the future arc or Danganronpa one. There's no immediate threat or danger to any of the characters because although it's like the despair arc, it starts with everything being fine, right? And then it's eventually going to lead up to the very tragic event
Ending.
that happened,
Yeah.
the ending, um, that Danganronpa one talked about. The characters.
Does it
and
have
and
more of
Junko.
the feel of Danganronpa 1 like
No, not at all.
plot
It's like
wise? No, I mean like the feel of the
no,
anime.
no, not at all.
Or
It's very like relaxed. The characters are like have a lot of fun and everything
I mean like the
because
way it's paced. Like how in season 3 they're kind of just like here's this character, here's this character, here's this character, here's this character. Dude you already know walks in, shit goes down. Is it And then in the first one they spent the entire first episode introducing people. Is this going to be like hey, like you're blah 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 from this school, I'm blah 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 from this school, we're blah 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 from this school, or is it just like like a slice of life, kind of from one person's perspective going into it.
Yeah, they did it in the first episode.
They did what?
Like for Danganronpa 3, like like the really first episode for like the arc.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they
the future
introduced
arc,
all the characters.
They introduced like so many characters. Like,
Yeah.
what?
So it's just gonna be like how Future is, but with a different story. Because like I don't have a problem with the story of Future. I have the way with which it's presented. That's what makes me not like it. Whereas the first season was like from the point of view of a dude, and we were along for the ride with him. You know what I mean?
I think it's
yeah. No.
It's like
For,
that. It's like that.
It's going to be like that because in the despair arc, you're going to be going along with this ride from someone that's not even in the regular curriculum. Remember how in Danganronpa 1 they talked about the reserve students, remember? 'Cause the ones that don't have any talent. He's actually one of those people, and I think he's going to like have some sort of interaction with the super duper high school students and stuff like that.
Okay.
But I also agree that you guys what Nick said was them like throwing like fucking 15 characters up your ass and then expecting you to like remember all their names and like what their quirks are and stuff like that. It's just like so much to remember that I don't want to like at the first episode.
Not even that so much to remember, just that it feels really, really forced. Where it's like
it is. No, absolutely.
Care about these people. Care about them, Matt. You care. Look at you. You care.
You don't want to.
Yeah. That I found like when they throw a bunch of characters, I'm just like, yeah, I don't know how to feel.
But still, the story looks, for both at least for me, the story looks really cool. The first one, like it is a killing game again, but it's not the same one. So I'm expecting like different little like more interaction and chat between the characters and maybe like flashbacks and stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm just interested in seeing where they're gonna go with that.
Uh-huh.
All right. I know the next one Matt likes, Days.
Hell yeah.
Are you into soccer in general, or?
Yeah.
So soccer and basketball are your things?
Mm-hmm. And volleyball.
Okay.
My three main things. But yeah, I mean the main reason why I like Days is one because I do like watching and playing soccer sometimes, but I don't know, like it's one of those shows where I don't mind that the main character is a huge pushover and he's trying to become something that you normally wouldn't see that kind of person or that type of person like go for and do. It's just like it's kind of silly, but at the same time it's just interesting and entertaining to see like how he's going to do it and just go along for that ride.
All right. Are any of you guys watching any of the next ones down the list? All the way up to Mob Psycho, because I'm not watching anything up until up to Mob Psycho.
Hatsukoi Monster, really weird, but like it's still somewhat good weird, I think.
Oh, it's a show about a little boy in like an adult boy's body.
Yeah.
And
it's so strange, but like the reason I'm still watching is because it's just funny. It's hilarious.
It's just it's pretty funny.
I heard that it was really funny and that it made you want the teenage girl to fuck the little boy. I don't know. That's what I heard.
I don't know about that.
You don't want them to hook up?
I mean, like he looks grown up, but he's only in 5th grade, which just is like
and
weird.
she's like what I forgot. She was like 18.
High
she's
school?
like high school, yeah. Some high school. It's like,
This is by the people that made a lot of stupid shit in the past couple of years. Notably Log Horizon though. But they've made a lot of shit.
Log Horizon season 1 was really good. Season 2, I don't know, I kind of just lost interest. Kind of just fell off for me.
Oh, Edin actually did Rakugo from a couple seasons ago.
oh, these guys made Konosuba.
Did they really?
That was great.
Yeah. Did Edin?
I've never been so torn about a place before. I like a lot of the shit they've done, but I hate a lot of the shit they've done.
Yeah. I loved Konosuba. I'm waiting for the second season. I would. Give me now.
It's coming soon. I think it's coming in the winter, actually.
Oh, these guys made Fate Stay Night. Are you serious? No. Oh no,
Oh,
that
what
was
the
the first
fuck?
one.
Wasn't that a UFO table?
Yeah, no. This is like the really
They
first
made
one.
the original,
The original.
2006.
Oh, I haven't seen that. Apparently, that focuses more on the love with the main character and Saber,
Yes.
from what I heard. I know, I might have to watch that.
Wow.
But yeah, besides Hatsukoi Monster, obviously, I'm watching Masou Gakuen HxH because why not?
Oh my. Like, I'm not surprised. Like,
Of course you're
I
not
mean,
surprised.
it
Come
was
on,
made
it's
for
me
you,
you're
Matt.
talking about.
It was literally
Exactly.
like the developers were like, Misusing TV is going to love this shit.
Bro,
okay, like, no, hold
bro,
on.
just let me read off the tags: action, comedy, ecchi, fantasy, harem, romance, school, and sci-fi. What more could you possibly want in one
A
show?
chick who doesn't have two fucking balloons on her chest. Look at the blonde chick.
Bro,
What the
don't
fuck is
don't
that?
look at the blonde
Okay,
chick,
those are
look
not
at the
balloons.
silver
Balloons do
chick.
not get that big without popping, Evon.
Fucking Woman Alone, man.
They're actually bigger. An individual one of her boobs is bigger than her head.
This is stupid. Oh my god.
I don't know. It's the generic like ecchi series
Of the season.
of the season, but
Yeah.
it's like I don't mind watching those because they're not like they're not the same, storyline. But that's why I'm watching it because it's a different storyline. But you kind of can figure out what's gonna happen.
I watched the first episode of it, and the only opinion I have about it is that I've seen hentai with more story, and
I've seen the first minute, and all I saw was like the dude was groping her chest, I think it was, and I was like, really?
I mean the opening had me had me hooked for a second. I was like, whoa, why is this happening? What's going on? And then I realized that he was recharging their powers, and I just immediately thought of literally 3 other anime that I already
Yeah,
watched that were
yeah.
probably better than this is gonna be, and I just stopped watching it.
I know you like this shit, Matt, but like, can't do it.
Let's just leave it at that, okay?
Okay.
Let's just leave it at that.
All right, now another one that I'm actually surprised that I liked this season was Mob Psycho 100. I'm not a fan of One Punch Man. I'm a fan of the concept of One Punch Man, but I couldn't sit through the whole thing. I didn't care enough. But Mob Psycho, I feel the exact opposite about. It's about a kid with crazy strong psychic powers, and he goes to school, and he's basically like a little dweeb who doesn't have any social interaction with anyone, and he's being taken advantage of by a dude who's just using him for profit. And eventually, a club tries to take advantage of him, and he ends up telling them to fuck off. And its animation is fucking awful, but I learned to look past that for this series, just because its comedy is so me, and I like it so much. It hits all the right points.
Does look quite interesting. The animation, like the title picture, it's like, it's really like
No,
90s.
that's when the animation
200s.
looks good, Evon. When I'm saying the animation gets bad, I mean it gets to the point where it looks like someone drew it when they were half awake, and that nobody looked at it to make sure it looked okay. Like it
Oh
gets to
my.
points where just for 15 seconds straight, it'll literally be like if you were like flipping through like a notebook and you drew stick figures fighting. But then like on the contrast of that, they'll have like super crazy shit happen like 15 seconds later after that. It's it's really spread on the animation. And the art style is like older, but that's just because they're trying to copy the original web manga. Um, but I mean, like this is one of those shows where I just completely look past everything wrong with the animation and art and just enjoy the comedy for what it is.
It's like the actual storyline.
Yeah. Whereas like One Punch Man, every episode was like a parody of something, but it like the joke was like at the beginning of it, but then the episode still ran for another 20 minutes. Whereas each episode of Mob Psycho so far has been like its own joke every episode for the whole episode, and it continues to get better along the episode. Where like the whole reason to watch Mob Psycho isn't because you give a fuck about making fun of the genre. You're watching it because it's good in itself. Have you watched any of
And
it yet,
anime
Matt?
though, yeah. My bad.
Mob Psycho? Nah, I haven't had a chance to watch the first episode yet, but I guess I will. I'll give it a shot. I'm watching I don't know the name of this anime in English. Alderamin on the Sky. It's actually one of my favorites of the season. It
Oh, it's by
says it's an
Madhouse.
action adventure fantasy. Basically it's I don't really know how to describe the time period of this, but it's about this dude and a girl, and they're basically trying to enlist in what seems like the army or something. And it follows their story. The main character, the main protagonist, apparently becomes one of the best generals ever, and it's kind of his story to, I guess, when that actually happens. And it's like it's just being told, like a story about his uh
So is it being narrated from the third person or?
well, mm, how would I say this? Kind of, because like the beginning and end narrate that part, but everything in between, like the whole episode itself, is just from like what's happening then and there, like in real time. And I don't know, I really like it. Every episode I watch just makes me want to, see more. Like this week's episode, today's episode, just want to keep watching it. So it kind of caught me off guard, and
Yeah, I
I'm
haven't
just really
even
into
heard
it.
of this anime before, so I might give it a watch.
Madhouse has made it. So Madhouse has got like some really fucking good animes they've made.
But it also says light novel next to it, which makes me a little bit scared, because usually that means that it's gonna fall into the SAO archetypes, like the light novel, like light novel boy and light novel girl do light novel things. You know what I mean?
Oh, this doesn't say like any type of romance or anything on it. So it's just like might just be
Yeah.
like pure action adventure fantasy.
I heard the fart anime is actually funny, but it's like a short, I think, and not very well done.
The fart? Oh, this one. What the fuck? I
It's
thought that
just
was
a
like
dude, a personified fart is literally what it's about.
Okay.
I'm
No,
looking
I'm
at the
good.
what
I'm
the
okay.
It's 3 minutes long each episode, and it's just a dude with a fart who has a personality.
I'm okay.
I mean, hey, it doesn't get much more anime than that, right?
I guess.
The most admirable of farts, as he solves problems in ways that only a fart can. All right, so Orange. How do you guys feel about Orange?
How
Oh,
do I feel? All right, Evon, you go first.
just your like when I first watched it, I thought this was gonna be basic romance anime school life shit, and then it turned out to be pretty dark. Oh, well, pretty deep, not dark. With the I guess to be spoilers, like the note, like being sent back to the
A
past.
girl sends back a note to herself 10 years in the past, explaining to her what's going to happen and how she wants her to fix it because she has regrets in her life. And that's basically what the whole story is. Every day she reads this letter from herself from the future and decides what she's going to make of the information that herself gives her.
The character development's really good though. With
It's
Naho, I think her name was. It was really nice. And like there's more to come because it's only
What does
I think
character
4 episodes.
development mean to you, Yvonne?
How a
There's
character
only
was
been like
developed
3
over time.
fucking episodes. How has
Dude,
there been
because
character development?
I I can't
She's still
explain
the
it, but
same stupid cunt she was in the beginning.
I'm pretty. No, she's not. Cause do you remember in the soccer scene how she
Yeah.
was saying no, the softball scene. Sorry.
Yeah.
softball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
She didn't want
obviously,
to go.
she decided to do a different thing, but we don't see the impact that that's had on who she is as a person yet. Yet, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, because the future is still the same. If things were actually happening, then the future that we have been seeing the past few episodes would have been slightly different or altered.
Yeah. Where I'm thinking this is going is either she sent her shit back to a parallel universe, or everything she did still amounted to her life. So, I mean, I
Like
like it. I'm not like putting the show down. I'm just saying bringing up character
I like it a
development
lot
isn't
too,
something
to
that
be
I would
honest. Just
bring up yet.
the story and again, it's too early to kind of see where this is going to go. But I hope it's not going to be a fucking sad ass ending, because as soon as I saw this show, right, and I saw like the PV for it,
Yeah. I mean,
um
you're
I
ready for the sad. You know it's
yeah,
coming.
like I instantly thought of Anohana. I don't know why. It just
Yeah.
kind of
No,
like
yeah.
gave off
It has
that
that
vibe for me.
atmosphere. Yeah. Definitely.
Does
But
it? Do you guys really see Anohana in it?
the first thing that came to my mind was like, yeah,
The
Anohana, like
tone
the
of it,
first
the color
anime.
palette, how everything's kind of like the way that they draw colors is kind of all mushed together. Like you're already crying and you're already blurring light together. Do you know what I mean?
I I honestly didn't see Anohana. I saw more or less Golden Time. This.
Golden time. I don't know. Maybe a little. But like the first thing that popped into my mind when I saw the title and I like read about the shows, yeah, I could see a little Anohana in this. Like it might just turn into something like really fucking sad at the end, which I hope it doesn't.
I mean, it's gonna be sad throughout, right? I mean, from what I've seen of it already, there's already sad.
But
Are you
I
guys caught
hope
up on it, or you guys just watched like the
yeah,
first episode?
I'm
I'm caught up on it.
I fell behind. I'm on episode 3 at the moment.
I caught up on it. I just hope that it doesn't continue to be sad. Like I hope that it
I mean,
like
I think that's where
halfway
it's
or
gonna
something.
stay. I think that's what its love
Yeah.
story is.
I want it to change. Well, at least I want the future to change.
Well, yeah, you wanted to change. That's why you're sad the whole time.
Uh,
You're rooting for the change. That's why it hits you so hard when shit gets real. Well, Real Life is, in my opinion, my favorite thing this season. Even if everything else ends fantastic, this was probably my favorite just because it all came out on the first day, and I just sat there and I marathoned the entire thing the second it was uploaded to Kiss.
I was quite surprised that the whole anime got released at once.
Yeah,
But
Netflix
I
style.
mean, it works. Apparently it was screened at an event prior to the release, and they literally showed every single episode at that screening. So I guess that's why it was released all at once. But yeah, I mean, it was a great watch. I know the characters were great.
Did you finish it too?
Um, yeah,
Okay.
the characters were great. There was like a what the fuck moment towards the end, or like a moment of realization that you're like, wow, you like connected, 1+1 with that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was pretty easy just to get through the whole thing. Very fluid.
The thing that I liked most about it was like for me personally that I've been out of high school for long enough to fit into the main character's shoes so well in terms of like when you see little high school drama or little high school quirks going on around you, you can like so easily see what's going on and see the whole picture that when you're in high school, like you don't really see, that you don't like when you see a situation, like you're more in the situation than being able to see the whole picture when you're in high school. And if like I was to go back to high school, then like seeing like kids do certain shit would just like set off immediately flags for like, oh, this person like acts like this towards this person for this reason, and like you just see through a lot of the bullshit that high school is. And that's what I really liked about the show was that they addressed him looking through these other high school kids problems and like just immediately being able to like have an answer or like see what's really going on. That was what I really liked about it.
Yeah, I agree.
And then on top of that, it was a very very like it wasn't just your typical like the same 5 things that happen in a slice of life to make the plot push forward. Like there was the overarching story of what was happening with the main dude, and like it was relevant to what was going on, and it affected how he acted throughout the whole thing, and what happened in high school affected him as a person, and it was just overall, it was just beautiful, and I loved it, and it made me feels, and it made me happy, and it was great.
All I really want to say about it is that it's a good watch, and then if you're into that romance school life, then it's just really it's worth to pick it up.
This whole current anime thing is running a lot longer than I thought it was going
Oh
to.
jeez, like how long have we been
Um,
going for?
We're going
An
for an
hour?
hour now.
Yeah.
All right, so let's speed through the rest of this shit. Rewrite was bad. Did you guys have any
Oh,
other
Oh.
thoughts about that?
well, it's not that it's bad. It's just confusing because I don't know where the fuck they're going with this. However, I do like the main character, and I'm watching it for the main character because he's hilarious.
Main character Kun was at one point he literally says out loud, "What the fuck is going on?" And that is exactly how I felt watching the entire first episode, and the second episode was just like, "What the fuck? Why?"
I'm
And
I'm watching
that's
it. I'm
I
watching it
just
for the main character. It's just that I like the comedy, and I feel like it's gonna get better.
I mean, for your sake, I hope it does. But holy shit, it was like a dude just jumping through different animes. Like it didn't decide what it wanted to be in the first episode. Are any of you guys watching Sacred Rider?
Yes, Scarred Rider Zex. It's basically Japanese Power Rangers SPD. Like I made a reference to that earlier, but literally, it's fucking Power Rangers with like I don't know a bit of demons inside of it. It it's
It's
I,
literally rated a 5.
but like I don't know.
Holy
It
shit!
might
I just looked at the rating.
it
What
might
the
not
fuck?
be popular, but
It has
it's
13 favorites on all of my anime list.
it keeps my interest. So what can I say?
Okay.
So, Servant.
I know nothing about this one.
With love, I think. Yeah.
Is that your love story, Evon? Is this what you're into?
No. No. Okay. No.
No,
On to the main part.
Servamp. Wait,
Shoku-
I'm watching Servamp.
Huh? Isn't it
Yeah.
boys' love?
No, what the fuck? Well,
Dude, Free wasn't boys' love either. Fuck you guys.
I watched Free.
okay, I can't talk shit about you watching Free because I've never seen it. Okay, all I've seen were the fucking
It's
Tumblr.
not gay. They just like swimming.
Yeah, but it's like for Servamp, I think there is like now that you say it, there might be a little hint of boy love between the main character and the dude with the green hair.
Boku
in
no
the
Pico
background.
confirmed.
Maybe, but I mean, again, I'm a fan of the supernatural, vampire genre, and it has action in it. Like the action isn't bad so far. Again, we're only a few episodes in, but yeah, I'm gonna keep watching it until I may or may not lose interest.
Fair enough.
All right, and then the hype of this season,
Mm,
Shokugeki
Mhm.
no Soma season 2,
food
and they
porn.
wasted no time. They got straight back into that motherfucker.
God bless, man.
Oh
So
man,
good.
I love it.
It's just like, bro.
If you didn't
we
watch
ended off
season
last
1,
season?
you need to fucking watch season 1.
Yeah, it's like you saw season 1, you're like, bam, all right,
Right into
we're
season
back
2.
into
No
it.
time skips, no bullshit, no backstory. We're
move
right
on.
into it.
Mm.
It never stopped.
The food is just as great as season 1. Characters on fucking
Yep.
point. The new guy too is,
The tubby
weird.
guy.
Yeah, I don't know. He's a little weird, but I mean he
Thug.
fits right in. So
Yeah, I mean everyone in
I,
the show is fucking weird. So
I'm like sad on my favorite characters got like knocked out. Like I'm not gonna say who, but like that I was like really sad that that happened, and I was just like, man, come on.
dude, I mean at least she got in. That's all I had to say.
You know who I'm talking about.
I mean obviously. But
I'm pretty sure you don't know who I'm talking about.
well, we're not gonna know unless you
I
fucking
mean,
say it.
the people that have won so far have been the obvious winners, in my opinion. I mean, it's just like the way that they've phrased each of the battles, that you kind of know who's gonna win.
Yeah, I mean, like, fuck the. Am I like the only person who eats food while watching this?
No,
Like,
I have to make food every time.
yeah, like
And
it's
then I
just
have it
like I
sit in
get
front of
so
me. I watch the
hungry.
episode. When I get hungry, I eat the food in front of me.
I get so hungry. I'm just like, oh god, my food looks like shit compared to this.
But yeah, if you're not watching it, watch season 1 and then watch it. It's good. It's entertaining. It's food porn, literally food porn, and it's good. Are any of you guys watching Taboo Tattoo?
Yes.
Nope.
Again, it's you got the action, you got the supernatural, you got superpowers. I'm like, yo, I'm in. I'm interested. To be honest, I thought when I first heard this title, I'm like, okay, this shit's gonna be incest. But nah, I was pleasantly surprised. It's something
Huh?
completely fucking different.
Something Japanese that has
'Cause it's-
taboo in it? Obviously incest.
My god.
I'm actually along for the ride on this. As much as
Yeah.
I shit all over all the animes that are exactly like this, I'm along for the ride for this one. I kind of just pick that one every season that I'm along for the ride for, and I'm not having a bad time.
I mean,
It's okay.
like the main character isn't like ridiculously overpowered because they just said so. Like they he had like the dojo, like his father's or grandfather's whatever dojo,
And then even
and like
that,
he
like,
trained.
even his training makes him a little bitch compared to everyone else he fights. Only the thing he stumbled upon kind of makes up for it.
Yeah,
So he's like right in that balance. He's not like super fucking weak, retarded, getting carried, but he's also not like my magical high school OP.
he's Saitama.
Mm.
Yeah, I agree, absolutely, and that's what makes it. That's what makes it good, in my opinion.
All right, let me put a pause in the podcast right here. It is Future Nick again, and in this segment about Taboo Tattoo, I say that I am along for the ride, even though I know that it's one of those shows that I shit on every single season. And boy, was I in for it for fucking going along with this one. The first 5.5 episodes of fucking Taboo Tattoo lead you to believe that it is going to be a real story with real characters in it who are going through a series of events which have stakes and meaning, and it's not just going to be light novel boy does light novel things with light novel girl. It was going to be more than that. It was going to expand its horizon. It was going to be a little bit dark, but not take itself too seriously. And then fucking episode 5. Fuck Taboo Tattoo. Do not watch it. It makes a fucking mockery of itself. It literally, in a span of 2 minutes, destroys everything the first 4 episodes set to accomplish and set into stone. So, fuck Taboo Tattoo. Don't watch that shit. Don't even think about watching that shit. If you're watching that shit right now, stop. Bad you. Bad. All right, you can go back to listen to the podcast now. And then I think the last one, Tales of
Hysteria. Oh,
Hysteria, yeah.
so good.
UFO Table makes
Before
very
table
beautiful
just
things.
never, yes, never ceased to amaze me. Amazing artwork.
I
Amazing.
don't know. God Eater ceased to amaze me.
Okay. Like God Eater was just like we waited like what 6 months for that shit to finish. I was like, are you kidding me? Like I know this is based tells her it's based off a game. I haven't played the game personally. Yeah, first episode like hooked me. I was just like, all right, this seems mad interesting.
I'm watching it. It's pretty okay. I only watched the first episode though, and I'll
Oh.
probably marathon it when it finishes. or marathon as far as I get in it until I get bored. That's usually how most things get dropped for me. And that's it for current animes. So who wants to start off talking about what some of their favorites are?
I guess I'll do Kuroko. Like, I think I haven't enjoyed or being hyped about an anime more than Kuroko, just because I was watching it ongoing, the third season, and I was just like, what the fuck? Every episode,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it was just new thing after new thing after new. Like, really good. No matter uh how it was like portrayed to some people, because I know my friends, they were like, why the fuck you watching a bunch of sweaty boys playing basketball? It's like, there's more to there's more to it than just that. Um,
I mean, definitely. Like I said earlier, I feel like it's more about the people and the struggle. You know, the struggle's real. It's more about that than it is about actual basketball.
yeah, it's like fuck the game. Like, there was like a lot more story behind it.
Yeah. Anything
Another
else?
personal favorite, like probably Gintama. Like, it's like long as fuck, but probably like one of the funniest animes I've seen. And like, it gets really serious during some arcs, and overall really really great. If you have time, I would recommend watching it. It's like 280 episodes or something right now. Fucking long, but really good.
I mean, there's a reason why animes like that get that long.
Mm.
Anything else?
Not really.
All right, what about you, Matt? What's your love story?
For anime,
Yeah.
I mean, Evon explained Kuroko.
Would you say that was
Yeah.
that's like your number one or?
Well, yeah. Currently, it really depends on how ReZero ends. Will determine whether or not that's gonna be my new number one. Because honestly, like I love ReZero. I love the fact that the main character doesn't get what he fucking wants, and that he's actually human, and he's going through all these troubles and everything like a normal person might. But at the
Yeah.
same time, it's only because of this fucking weird power that he has that he can't explain, because he himself might die because of that. um so depending on how ReZero ends, this is my current number one favorite. Yeah, Kuroko. Again, I have a big attachment to basketball. I haven't been playing it for long. I started at senior year of high school, but I don't know, just knowing a lot about the sport and watching like the characters go through everything, even watching like how stupidly impossible a lot of the fucking shit that they do is.
Yeah.
That's still fun to watch, and it's still fun to fun to see like that. Like I like whenever I would watch Kuroko, I would go to the park and try to do some of the things they would, but could never, because I lack the talent and the ability. But besides that,
That's actually
it's
exactly how I feel about one of my favorites too. So I understand that completely. Like, it motivates you. It wants you want to go out and like do that shit too.
oh hell yeah, like it motivated me to go to the park whenever I was watching that show. So that was really cool. And besides Kuroko, it would have to be Nikki, because I don't know what about that show. I don't know what got me so hooked on it. It was the survival game aspect, just how crazy the fucking situation is, where the god of space and time is dying, like fucking my ass, he's dying. Like that would not happen. Hello,
His
he's a
CG was breaking.
god.
That was really happening, Matt. The CG
Yeah,
he was made of was corrupting the file, and he needed to go.
pretty much. So yeah, it's just like Mirai Nikki with the whole survival game aspect, which I like, and then the main character wasn't my favorite. I didn't really think about this until after I finished, but the main character wasn't really my favorite, because he was a little pussy bitch in the beginning, but then he like grew a pair towards the middle and then the end. And then I don't know, was probably one of my favorite female characters because of just how passionate she was about the main character. I was
You just
just
want a crazy
something,
bitch to love you too.
and just something about her, man.
Was it the way that she would stab anybody for you?
No, nothing like that. I don't know. It's just maybe it was just her voice actor. I don't know. But I didn't watch it in Japanese. I watched it in English.
A
So
true pleb.
it was different. It was a little bit different.
All right, anything
Yeah.
else?
No, just pretty much those two that I wanted to talk about.
All right, I think my all-time favorite that I've watched a good jabillion fucking times all the way through, and both of the movies, is Eden of the East. I am an absolute fucking sucker for shit like that. Shows about NEETs, like the NHK, Eden of the East, like anything that even makes reference to it, I fucking love the struggle. It's so good. I love every single thing about Eden of the East. It's about a dude who erases his memory, and he has a phone with $10 billion on it, and he's instructed to change the country using this $10 billion. And so the story's about him trying to figure out why he erased his memories, who the fuck he is, what the fuck game he's playing, why the fuck the rules are the way they are, who's putting on the game, how do you win the game, and who else is playing it. And it's all this cool shit, along with like him being involved with this girl and her group of friends, and the company that they're starting up. And it's really really lovable, and it has such a good story. And then when the anime ends, there's a movie that picks up from where it ends, and then another movie that picks up where that one ends that finishes off the story. And it's great. If you haven't seen Eden of the East, I recommend you go watch it. But on the other side of that, where Matt was talking about Kuroko Basket, fucking Your Lie in April, actually like I there's not a single thing about music that I love more than piano. Piano is like my baby. If I met a girl who's cute and she can play piano, like that's an in. I'm already in love with you. And I even borrowed
Yeah.
my ex-girlfriend's piano keyboard, and like it made me practice it. It made me want to like learn to actually play the piano and not just play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And that didn't go very well because it turns out playing the piano is really, really, really fucking hard. But yeah, I love music anime, and
Yeah.
that one touched my heart in more ways
I
than one.
cried like a little bitch when she got to. Like at the end, I fucking died.
Yeah, her fucking letter. Oh my gosh.
I was just like, why?
Yeah, I really
But-
like Sakuruso. It's like a slice of life
So,
about an
Mm.
autistic girl who is really good at drawing.
what?
That's what it is.
That was just-
That's
Oh,
how I
wow.
see it. I love it.
So rude.
It's another one I've watched like probably 5 times all the way through. Yeah, I would say those are definitely my top three. Those are animes that like I can just sit down, and if like my friend's like, "Hey, you want to watch some anime?" and I'm like, "Yeah, have you seen this one?" I will just sit there and marathon the whole thing with them again, with no problem, because I just love them that much. All right, well that wraps up everything from the Weeb Boys talking about summer 2016 anime and a couple of our favorites. Now, for those of you that have made it this far into the video, I'm really curious what you guys think. So hit me with those comments below. I want to know if you guys like hearing us talk about one subject like this in a whole episode, or if you guys liked more of what the pilot was, where we jumped around from a bunch of different topics and everybody kind of gave a little bit of input, or if you guys would enjoy us just talking about one topic and going really, really hard at it for about an hour. So yeah, let me know. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one if it fucking ever happens.